Among the many prosperous in-laws of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, Derick Dillard stands out. His connection with them, nevertheless, was very toxic. Once Jill and Derick were married, they divorced from the Ibble Peace principles. Since then, they've been exposing Jim Bob's transgressions, and many were convinced by Derick's reputation as a lawyer because of his work. When Derick took a risk with his career, however, many were taken aback. Continue reading to see the conversation. After making some stunning statements on the program, Jill and Derick have become rather famous. Jill came clean about her father's financial lies and the fact that she was unpaid for the performance. It has been suggested by Jill and Derick that Jim Bob may soon face consequences from the IRS. Jim Bob has chosen not to comment on the claims. However, insiders say it's a major factor in the fact that the former Counting on Stars connection with Jill and Derick never got better. However, Jill has already said that they've been making an effort to spend time together whenever possible. On social media, a few Counting on fans brought up Derick Dillard's recent LinkedIn upgrades. A former assistant district attorney, Derick is apparently no longer with the office, according to the posting. His resignation from his position was announced earlier this year. As an alternative, Derick seems to be operating his own law practice as an attorney at law. A lot of people thought Derick's former employment was a stepping stone to his current one. Therefore, they were pleased by his decision. From where I'm from, becoming an ADA is only a stepping stone. The salary is horrible, and there are no benefits for union members, but it looks good on a resume. After you get the necessary understanding, most people don't remain ADAs for long. For the most part, this holds true. An ADA in a big city is my aunt. As a full-time store worker, her salary is lower than mine. The task is emotionally and financially taxing. Since it offers good insurance and gives her some leeway in her schedule, she has decided to keep it. For lawyers practicing in smaller towns or rural areas, this is a common career path. I am a lawyer. His original plan was never to remain in the prosecutor's office. The salary is pitiful, and the work itself is not great. It seems to me that entertainment law is where Jill's luck lies in light of her book contract. The Duggars and the Duggars are still interested in pursuing a career in public relations. It seems that Derick has the intelligence to survey his surroundings and identify a need. Over the last few months, Jill Duggar Dillard has been chronicling her path to recovery. The former host of Counting On had a miscarriage in 2017. Isla Marie Duggar, who was stillborn, had burial services attended by members of the Duggar family. The Duggars' property was also Jill and Derick's Christmas destination last year. Online, a picture of Jim Bob chatting with the newlyweds came to light. However, Derick and Jill made it clear that their chat is meaningless. Former reality star Jill Duggar Dillard's husband, Derick Dillard, has taken a bold and unexpected step back from his job as an assistant district attorney in Arkansas. A touching statement and brief video message surfaced on Derick and Jill's joint website early Wednesday morning, breaking the news and sending shockwaves through the Duggar community, the legal community, and lifelong fans. Call to More was the straightforward title of the blog article. But what is the underlying message? Not at all easy. Derick announced his resignation from the Washington County District Attorney's Office in a letter he sent after prayerful consideration, several discussions with Jill, and other late-night struggles with his sense of purpose. I didn't make this choice lightly. Nonetheless, I think it's the best one. Starting off in his legal career, Derick Dillard had every quality that would make him an excellent public servant. He worked as a prosecutor on both felony and minor cases after graduating from the University of Arkansas School of Law in 2021. His steady attitude in court and his tenacious defense of victims earned him the admiration of several of his local colleagues. Someone else, however, had observed a change in Derick during the last year. He appeared strange. At court proceedings, he calmed down. Notably, he skipped a few of important county meetings. His inner circle started speculating that Derick was rethinking his role in the system he had previously championed. He loved the work, but it was starting to weigh on him, a coworker who requested anonymity stated. His dedication to serving others was evident, but I believe the bureaucracy and the structure began to interfere with his personal growth. Derick sits down next to Jill in the video message they uploaded to their site. Their 3 sons can be seen playing in the background from time to time. He says it like it is. My true motivation for becoming a lawyer was to assist others. In order to protect the invisible. To seek redress. However, it became clear to me that the system often obstructs genuine transformation. I started to feel like a part of something bigger, and it wasn't made to help the people and places I care about. He keeps on, his voice quivering just so slightly. On other evenings, I would return home and just sit quietly. I felt like I was putting out flames while someone else continued starting them with cases involving shattered families, addiction, and abuse. Is Derick's future uncertain? The video and blog article suggest that he is making a huge risk. Ark Justice Alliance is the name of his new nonprofit organization, which will provide underserved Arkansans with access to free legal resources, as well as assistance and reform advocacy. Our goal is to establish a connection between individuals and the legal system, he said. A defense may be out of reach for some. The rights of individuals are not always clear. Unfortunately, such individuals often go overlooked. The organization is still in its early phases of growth. However, there are 3 main areas of focus: workshops and legal education for the community, volunteer legal aid for low residency families, state-level campaigns for criminal justice reform. To help make the idea a reality, Derick has already begun to put together a small team of volunteers, paralegals, and attorneys, some of whom he has worked with before. You can feel Jill's encouragement and presence all throughout the video and blog article. This journey has been so personal for us, Jill says candidly while wearing her trademark no makeup radiance and a plain blue shirt. We know from experience the dangers that unbridled power and control can wreak on individuals. Something that promotes healing, hope, and tangible change is what we want to be a part of. Anyone who knows Jill's backstory, including her difficult breakup with her parents and her choice to leave the Duggar family's rigid restrictions, can see that her new objective is a reflection of her own maturation just as much as Derick's. Seeing Derick embrace this calling is a reminder of the reason I fell in love with him, Jill continues. And he pays attention. He opposes established norms. And no matter how difficult it becomes, he always does the right thing. Not everyone has been supportive of Derick, even though many have lauded him for his bravery and lucidity. According to people close to the Duggar family, remember, this is all in fiction. Jim Bob Duggar is not thrilled with Derick's plans. According to an insider, Jim Bob believes in law and order, and he doesn't quite understand why Derick would leave a stable job to start something so uncertain. Some tension has been observed. However, Jill's cousin Amy King and Jinger Duggar Vuolo allegedly made contact to provide encouragement. After the news was made, Jinger wrote, "Proud of you both," in an Instagram remark. Following the straight road isn't simple, but it's the right choice. Quite a bit was said on the internet, as one would expect. Attention, at Justice Alliance 87. Is Derick Dillard launching his own charity? In 2025, we will need this kind of energy. Honest, unfiltered, propelled by a higher meaning. At former Fundimum, you can criticize the Duggars all you want, but I'm rooting for Jill and Derick as they rewrite their own story. Greatest regard, at Arkansas 2025. It is a courageous and daring decision on Derick's part to leave the district attorney's office and work on something reparative instead of punishing. Although Ark Justice Alliance is in its early stages, Derick and Jill have dropped hints about their near-term objectives, including a Fayetteville-launched fundraiser this summer. Workshops on legal literacy held at community centers and churches. The duo is gearing ready to release their podcast, Justice and Grace, in the autumn. The show will include conversations with those who have been affected by the justice system, including attorneys, religious leaders, ex-offenders, and regular citizens. Despite his nerves, Derick is thrilled. Uncharted terrain awaits us. I am more certain than ever before that God is guiding us. One evening, our middle son asked me, "Daddy, are you a hero?" Derick wrote at the conclusion of the blog post, sharing a quiet moment that encouraged him to take the leap. My heart slowed. I was at a loss for words. I didn't want to limit my career goals to only winning cases, however. For him, his siblings, and all the kids just like them. I wished I could create something that would make the world a kinder, more equitable, and more just place.